Yeah. Busy.
Still at that place?
Thought she was putting that. Yeah.
Maybe.
You good, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin? Council members, all good? Call the team to order. Mr. Denny, if you please lead us in invocation, sir.
If you would, please bow your heads. God, you're good to us. God, we just ask that you give us discernment. God, we ask that you watch over this town. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Raines, if you can lead us in the pledge, please, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you could please conduct the roll call, ma'am.
Alderwoman Jamie Harris. Here. Alderman Matthew Kinney.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Buck McGee.
Here.
Alderman Jordan Shree.
Here.
Alderman Mike Rain.
Yes, ma'am. Here.
Mayor Hunter Timms.
Here.
Town Attorney Neil Irwin.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Council, first on our agenda, we'll enter into approval of minutes. First, we'll have approval of minutes from March the 10th, 2026, regular council meeting. Are there any questions or comments from the public in reference to the approval of these minutes? Council, any questions or comments from you all in reference to the approval of minutes for March the 10th, 2026? Seeing none, council, this time I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve minutes from March 10th, 2026.
Second. We have a motion and second. Council, this time, please cast your votes.
Aye.
Motion carries. Second and approval of minutes. We'll have approval of minutes from April the 7th, 2026. This is a special council meeting. Any questions or comments from the public in reference to the approval of minutes from April the 7th, 2026? Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, council, this time I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion for approval of minutes of April 7, 2026.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Council, this time, please cast your votes.
Aye.
Motion carries. Continuing on through the agenda, will be in old business. This will be accept or reject the final budgeted financial statements for February of 2026. Is there any questions or comments from the public in reference to this? Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, council, this time we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. We accept the final budget financial statements for February 2026.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Council, this time, please cast your votes.
Aye.
Carries. Moving into new business. Council, you are all currently in possession of the most current budgeted financial statements for March of 2026. And moving to agenda item number 2 within new business. This will be accept or reject resolution 16 of 2026. This is a resolution with intent to annex property within Bossier Parish, Louisiana by the town of Houghton, described as more or less 270.587 acres owned by the Grand Cypress Development. Just for everybody's awareness, and Mr. Gillis, if you'd like to come up here as well, geographically, this would be on the north side of I-20 on the northeast corner between I-20 and Highway 80. Pretty good chunk of land, just for everybody's awareness of where that's at. And if Mr. Gillis has anything else he'd like to add to that, floor is yours.
Mayor and Council, it's going to be 270 acres. It is contiguous to the current city limits on 2 reasons. Number one, 157, our jurisdiction actually goes all the way up to Covington Road right now, and then additionally, I-20 no longer operates as a barrier when expanding municipal limits. So it does meet that factor of it. The owner has petitioned to us, and we have all of that in our possession. And with this resolution, we'll send notice to the police jury. So do you have any questions for me about that?
Thanks, sir. With that, are there any questions or comments from the public in reference to resolution 16 of 2026?
I got a question.
Yes, sir. If you don't mind, Mr. Smitty,
William Smithy.
there you go.
Who's providing the utilities for this since it's north of interstate?
So currently, actually on that tract of land itself, it's dirt like we've all seen. So there's actually nothing on that right now. Consolidated Water has utilities at Highway 80, and we expect that they'll use those utilities. And then as far as future growth for the town, we have a proposed project to actually bring utilities under that. But in the interim, they would be buying utilities from that Consolidated Water.
I don't know what the cost of the town of Houlton would be to provide them with utilities. That's my big question.
Sure. No, currently the proposed project would be utilizing a large portion of state funding. There's nothing that's come to fruition on that project that the town is looking at to get utilities over there, but currently it's Consolidated Water affiliated with the Bossier Parish Police Jury that has utilities in and around the area there. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other questions or comments from the public in reference to Resolution 16 of 2026? Any further questions or comments from the council in reference to Resolution 16 of 2026? Seeing none, council, this time I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to accept the resolution 16 of 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Council, this time please cast your votes.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Going on to agenda item number 3 within new business. This will be accept or reject Resolution 17 of 2026. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Johnson & Pace Incorporated for general consulting and engineering services. We'll have Mr. Gillis up here again. There's a reason why he doesn't conduct a report anymore on this. I will speak a little bit to this. It was my intentions pretty early on that as we're growing to be able to diversify and work with multiple engineering firms and services so that we have a good Rolodex of these guys to work with. And so this would be us engaging the services of Johnson & Pace Incorporated. I'll let Tyler expound a little bit deeper into what that's for.
Yeah, so right now, the project that they would be coming in for is for a feasibility study for a possible residential development off of West McKinley. So this would kind of be their project from the beginning all the way to the end, depending on if the developer chooses to move forward with it once they complete their feasibility study. So we need to get them rolling now so that they can do that.
And I think it's important for everybody to know, because you see engineering services pop up so often here at our meetings. You know, although we are growing quickly, just purely the size of us, it obviously would be it'd be a tough check to cut to have an on-staff engineer. So, as common with municipalities our size, we outsource those services to private sector engineering firms. So whenever you see something like that going on and you hear, well, hang on, why is it involving a private developer? It's because the town has to have our representation for all of our council members here to make an acceptance on any infrastructure, because ultimately when this stuff gets done, the town has to have a trusted third party that says roads were done good, sewer looks good, water looks good, we recommend acceptance. So again, just for transparency and awareness, when you see these engineering resolutions pop up in reference to private developments like that, that's the town seeking representation and guidance, being that we don't have an on-staff engineer. Is there any questions or comments from the public in reference to Resolution 17 of 2026? Any questions or comments from the council in reference to Resolution 17 of 2026? Seeing none, council, this time I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept resolution 17 of 2026.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Council, this time, please cast your votes.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Continuing on through new business, we'll be at agenda item number 4. This will be accept or reject resolution 18 of 2026. This is a resolution to award bid for the fiscal year of 2025 LCDBG sewer rehabilitation project. In good faith, I'll read off that project number to you. That is number 200098 9649. I don't know, council, if y'all remember, I don't remember how many meetings it was ago, but I think I said, LCDBG, over 10 times. We've now gotten to the point here where we have a, recommendation to award bid, and that recommendation from Meyer is, to Pulley Construction for a total base bid in the amount of $1,080,000. That was through sealed bidding, and engineers recommended that we accept Pulley Construction to complete that project that I have said a lot in the past, just as well as y'all have spoken about as well. LCDBG. Is there any questions or comments from the public in reference to Resolution 18 of 2026? Seeing none, is there any questions or comments from the council? Also none. Council, this time I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept resolution 18 of 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Council, this time, please cast your votes.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 5 within new business. This will be accept or reject cooperative endeavor agreement. This is an agreement between the town of Houghton and the Bossier Parish Police Jury allowing distribution of funds to the parish for street overlay and base work performed by the Bossier Parish Highway Department on Cornerstone Boulevard in Remstone. So before we open up for questions or comments, number one, I want to thank the Bossier Parish Police Jury. There's an ordinance that the jury passed, I believe, in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, that gave the parish essentially law there to do at-cost road work for the town of Plainville and the town of Benton and the town of Houghton. And so, obviously, anybody here is familiar with development. It's such an asset to the town of Houghton that we're able to engage with the police jury to do these road projects. It literally makes it just go further. I would also like to add that the money utilized for this has come from state appropriation. So thank you again to our great Representative Doty Horton and our great Senator Bass. Those are all funds, and our governor. Those are all funds that come without any match for us. So this money literally is coming home from Baton Rouge, from our senator and rep advocating for us, and it is coming right back here at no cost to the town to do this road work. So again, just wanted to get a little depth on that project and that CEA. And again, thank you to the police jury for working so well with us. They did this last year on Allentown and Freedom, and it worked out great. So we're excited to do this again, and hopefully following years after this. With that being said, are there any questions or comments from the public in reference to this cooperative endeavor agreement with the Bossier Parish Police Jury? Any questions or comments from the council in reference to it? Seeing none, council, this time I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the cooperative endeavor agreement.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Council, this time, please cast your votes.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Continuing on to new business to our final agenda item, number 6. This will be accept or reject resolution 19 of 2026. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor to engage Civic Plus for website development and operation, as well as mass notification systems. I'm going to go ahead and ask Mr. Gillis. It's two-stage here. I'm going to have him give some context as to really what this is, and I'll give us all a little bit more of the why as to why you see this on your agenda.
So, over the past year, really, we've been working behind the scenes trying to improve our online presence, trying to improve, just kind of an uplift on the town, right? And so we're hopefully, in the next few months, we're going to be able to finally start kind of rolling some of this stuff out that we've been working on for a while. Civic Plus, our website needs to be revamped. I have contacted multiple developers, gotten many of quotes over the past 8 or 9 months now dealing with this. They were very competitive in pricing on that, but one of the things that's really cool about City Plus is they also have modules for different add-on things. For all of our current codifying our ordinances and resolutions as they're coming in, they currently handle all of that. The town's been utilizing them for over, I believe, a decade now. So everything will work together really well with them, so I do think it's going to be the best benefit of the town to transition to them. In addition to that, they have a mass notification system, which we'd like to add into this package. And that's going to provide the town with an opportunity to send out notices that are urgent, whether it be advisories, whether it be, things with, if we have road closures, if we have, whatever the case may be. You can also geo-target the area so we can isolate it to only the required people, and it allows our citizens to sign up for it. I think this is going to be a really big deal. I think it's going to be very good, and if you have any questions for me, by all means, but I'm going to let the mayor elaborate on it.
Also does weather alerts and everything else if you want.
Right, they have several capabilities that'll integrate with that as well, and it's going to be up to the user preference what they want to take. And then for those people that don't have, if they don't have a smartphone or don't want to use an app, we'll also have the opportunity to have a central Rolodex that we can utilize for them to have their number on a list, and we can send out essentially robocalling for alerts as well. So it's going to give the user several opportunities to find a way so that we can get information back and forth.
So to elaborate a little bit more on that, we've between myself, Tyler, and all of our council members here, I think we've all had a million good ideas, and sometimes you get so much going on. You have to prioritize on what you're doing. And one thing that was budgeted for and it was spoken about during it would have been at the end of 2025 as we're doing this budget was the need and the demand to get the website, better technology for communication up and going. And so this resolution didn't come out of thin air, but it did come right back on the top of my agenda when we talk about order of precedences with what happened last week. So I want to take responsibility to all my constituents. We did, and this is me, I'm the driver of the ship when it comes to this kind of operations. I did a very poor job of updating on the bull advisory that we all saw. It was unique in the time frame that it went on a little bit longer than maybe what we typically had, because we had to do some extensive testing for it that we weren't expecting. So it went on for a little bit longer. And also there was an update pushed out with what we had going on Facebook. Although it was within the LDH guidelines that we're allowed to utilize Facebook, I'm not here, nor is our council members here to do the bare minimum. So I want to apologize and take responsibility in not providing timely updates to that. But with that being said, words are cheap, and so we have this resolution that we hopefully are going to get accepted tonight. And just like Mr. Gillis said there, this is going to be something where the user will be able to decide, do I want the app, do I want the text, do I want the phone call? I know how hard it is to accommodate everybody, but in the year 2026, we probably all have some form of a telephone. And so we found that between the app and having the ability to send out those messages, this is something that it appears to be, Mr. Gillis, that we could put updates, not only the notice of a bull advisory, but we could give those updates out and reach the masses in the most effective way possible. So 2 things there. I want to take responsibility for that lack of communication, and I want to show you all that I hear it, and I'm sorry, and hopefully we can get this accepted tonight. And I promise better communication in the forward, and hopefully it will be through this Civic Plus app, and I have no doubt after looking at it, it's going to be very effective. So with that being said, are there any questions or comments from the public in reference to Resolution 19 of 2026? Any questions or comments from the council?
Not a comment, but for Tyler, if I understand right, this thing is very interactive and user-friendly, where you can find anything you want to find. You can go back and find past ordinance, you can find past minutes. It's
Correct.
good for what we do, as well as being able, you can even say, for alerts, click this button, and then sign yourself up for the alerts.
Right, and it's important that the mass notification system is going to integrate with the website module, and that's really going to be the key here too, because our website is, yes, it's outdated, but also it's not very mobile friendly. If any of you try to access it on your phone, it's rather frustrating.
We remembered our phone when we did this one. So.
Yeah. At the same time, you know, I feel Lane does a great job of getting the information up there, but you know, I know he gets frustrated too because sometimes we put documents online and you know, on our end, it's telling us, hey, that document's up there. And then we find out, you know, a day later or whatever, it's not, because if you're checking at the same computer, well, it's got an internet cache on there that is still showing you the document you were just looking at. So you don't even realize that document's not there and somebody else is checking it. And so it's very frustrating with what we're dealing with right now. And I think this is just going to fix everything. We'll have easy portal logins that'll be user-friendly on our end for operation, get this information out, get things uploaded, get things indexed on there to keep a better record, you know, going back in time. Hopefully all of them
The
up.
geo fence is awesome too, because we probably won't have a bullet advisory from Highway 80 to
Right.
Sligo Road.
Yeah, it's very rare. I mean, the one we had last week, you know, a very large area, and we really, you know, unless there's some type of significant disaster, that does not happen very often. It's very isolated to usually, you know, one or two streets. So.
What's the time frame to getting it started to actually push it out?
So if it's voted on tonight, I'll get paperwork off tomorrow. Implementation, out 12 to 16 weeks total for everything. So I would imagine within 16 weeks, I'm back here saying everything is rocking and rolling. Because it will be somewhat phased, right? We're going to go website first and then bring in that mass notification, just to help with the sign up and whatnot. So.
And that's a good, I'm glad you brought that up there, Mr. Shreen. I have no doubt this is the best product for what we're doing. I will ask for some grace on the implementation of it because like anything, we got to get good at it too. So, but we will. And again, my commitment to everybody in the meantime is to use the current means that we have more regularly, more effectively until we get this up and going. So, any other questions or comments from the council? Council, this time I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept resolution 19 of 2026.
We have a motion and a second for Mr. Shreen, Ms. Sykes. At this time, council, please cast your votes. Aye. Motion carries. We'll be moving on to the report section of our agenda. Representing the police department, we'll have Corporal Munns give his police department briefing.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Corporal Munns, Holton Police Department, speaking on behalf of Chief Todd Gibson, who is currently out on a short family trip, Assistant Chief Freeman, who is currently having a family emergency. Last month, there were 197 calls for service, 53 written reports were taken, 13 accident reports were taken. We had 1 hit and run, 184 citations were issued, 7 domestic violence calls, 52 arrests were made, 18 of which were felony arrests. We had 15 drug charges and 5 DWIs. During the month of March, 2 arrest warrants and 1 DNA warrant was sought and obtained. Corporal Cotrier, myself, and Detective Kemp responded to a shooting that occurred in Academy Trailer Park, which led to an immediate arrest of 1 individual for second-degree aggravated battery with a firearm. Corporal Cotrier and Officer Edmonds were dispatched to a burglary in process at Academy Trailer Park that resulted in a suspect being caught at the residence, and he was arrested for burglary as well. Myself, Officer Jeffrey, and Officer Roshan responded to a vehicle burglary that occurred at Waffle House. We later located that suspect on 8th Street, where he was arrested. The suspect was involved in numerous burglaries that occurred in Bossier Parish, Bossier City, as well as our immediate area. Moving on to criminal patrol grant. 6 officers worked the criminal patrol grant with a total of 23 hours. 29 stops were made, 25 citations were issued, 1 accident was worked, 3 arrests were made, 2 of which were drug arrests, and 1 was a second-degree battery arrest. 1 felony, 1 misdemeanor arrest, 23 hours of grant worked. I'm sorry. I lost my place. 77.5 hours of grant time was worked, with 96 available. 18.5 hours from the first quarter was not worked. 94 traffic stops were made. 94 traffic citations were issued. 16 arrests, 9 felonies, 7 misdemeanors, 7 drug arrests, and 2 DWIs. If there are no further questions, that's all I have.
Any questions from the council? Thank you, Corporal Munns.
Mayor.
Continuing on through reports, we'll have Chief Holland with the Houghton Fire Department.
Good evening. This is your March report. 70 responses in March, highlighted the fires. March 7th, we had a grass fire on I-20. That was mutual aid with Fire District 1. On March 10th, we had a structure fire at 74 Marlin Drive. That was a kitchen fire. On the 13th, we had a vehicle fire at the exit 33 ramp. The 19th, we had a brush fire at the 700 block of West McKinley adjacent to the railroad tracks. And then on the 31st, we had a structure fire at 506 Pebble. We received mutual aid from Bossier Parish Fire District 1 for that fire. Public education, the 16th to the 20th, we did Houghton Elementary fire safety education courses. And then on the 19th, we participated in the Special Olympics at Houghton High School. Personnel, 42, 12 career, 10 part-time, 20 volunteer. We're full staff. Equipment, all apparatus are in service. On the 19th, ladder 1, we had to have the outrigger cylinders removed and repacked and redone. It's back in service now. Fire prevention 1, that is Spencer's old truck. We had to have it in the shop several times. Had to have the timing chain replaced. Then also had to go back in like a week later for a starter. I think we've spent probably about $7-8 grand on that truck so far this year, keeping it running, but we're addressing that. We have several pieces of small equipment currently at Holmont for repairs. All equipment for the AFG grant has arrived. FEMA remains closed. I'm going to try and reach out to FEMA tomorrow again, see if I can get any kind of response. I spoke with Casco, who is the vendor for the SCBA's, their understanding of the situation. There's 3 or 4 other departments in our region that are in the exact same situation. They just said once it opens, we're going to call you to make sure you apply for your funds. Because even once we apply for them, it takes at least 30 days to get the funds. So we're sitting on a $250,000 invoice right now. 2026 forestry grant is now open. I have to have that in by July 1st. With this being our grading year, we're going through all the apparatus, looking for any necessary equipment that we have to have by PIO guidelines to make sure the truck has everything. They want everything from smoothbore tips all the way down to 4 12-volt flashlights to 1,200 foot of supply line. They're very particular about what has to be on each truck. We use the forestry grant to get 50-50 matching, so we get everything at half price. The supplemental appropriations money, the same thing the mayor was talking about with the road work. We received $75,000 from the state for station renovations. Completed so far, we have the HVAC system, plumbing and toilets, roof repairs, gutters. The electrical work has been completed. The countertops in the kitchen have been installed, and the cabinets in the kitchen have been installed. What's still remaining that we're in the process, the fencing. If you notice, the privacy fencing next to the fire station is due. Lane's working on a check right now for that. We'll pick that fencing material up this week. Luckily, half of my guys build fences on the side, so we won't have to pay a contractor. So we'll get that done. Appliances have been ordered. The new refrigerator should be here tomorrow. They'll get a new stove, new dryer, paint. That's still gotta be done. That'll be about $3,600 of materials. Luckily, another one of my firemen paints houses on the side, so they'll be doing that themselves. Radio equipment, we're gonna be looking at approximately $7,000, converting the tool room into a radio room. And then we have miscellaneous line items. It looks like there's about $9,000 left just for who knows what's gonna pop up. You know, you always have your contingency stuff. You gotta have bar stools, furniture, whatever's applicable to the project. Training, the firefighter 2 class completed. Frankie did pass. So now the recruits are now taking driver operator the next few weeks. Andy was there teaching them today. The online incident safety officer class has been completed. The firefighter 1 and 2 online class continues. And then all of our career staff and volunteer staff have renewed their EMT licensures, or whatever level they are, by the March 31st deadline. Additional information, hydrant inspections, flow tests, and maintenance have all been completed. So if there's any discoloration in the water, I don't think it's going to be our fault. And again, I apologize for that. It's something we have to deal with every year, and it's just something we have to do. I know I'm not Jackie's favorite person when that happens. Good news, the Fire Prevention Bureau has been approved by the State Fire Marshal. The Halton Fire Department now is a state fire prevention bureau. So we will start doing life safety code enforcement or inspections here pretty quick. Spencer stayed very busy. I think he's probably on the phone with the mayor's tower more than me, because there's a lot to it. And then we held our banquet on March 21st. It was well attended. I appreciate those that were able to make it. And that's all I got, unless you have any questions.
Does Spencer have a backup vehicle when that one's in the shop?
You beat me to it. So, glad you brought that up. You all approved government capital purchase. I don't remember the month of that, but it was last year. That's where we got several police cars and then several, 2 each there. What we did was a really good thing considering the circumstances. That total package that dollar amount that you all approved also included equipment upfitting, vehicle purchase with equipment upfitting. We were able to be frugal and work our budget so well that we actually purchased the equipment cash on hand and utilized just the funds for the vehicle. I knew we had some money left over in escrow, and the money actually gains interest. So it's one of those things, didn't sweat it, didn't think about it. Well, once I had to keep signing invoices for Chief Holland on his truck that has 150,000 miles, and what year is that? 2016. I said, let me go to see what we have here. We had $9 short of a brand new F-150, $9.18.
Correct.
And so it doesn't cost, it's already approved money. It's the same exact amount that you all approved. And we were frugal enough with our budgeted dollars that we expensed an unbudgeted expense of $9.18 to be able to get that vehicle ordered from Ray Ford and essentially stop the bleed on this vehicle that we have here. So that wasn't a planned event, but it couldn't have been a better deal, which I appreciate. Chief Gibson and Chief Holland, as far as the packages we did on lighting, we were very deliberate in going through their budgets, pulling that out of their budgets, and still maintaining surplus, all while saving this money that you already approved and had allocated. So
I talked to Ray Ford this afternoon. Everything's done. We should be able to pick the vehicle up tomorrow. Now we'll have to do, it's going to be for code enforcement. So, we don't have to go all out with striping and lighting it up. But, I'm sure we will light it up. He will respond to fires. He will meet the state requirements. But we don't have to do like we do with a Sprint truck or something where it's wrapped all the way around. So that'll save us money too. So that's a good thing. What we'll do, now we're going to have 2 backup trucks. We've got the old Sprint truck, which needs to go in the shop. It's leaking oil.
what year is that? the 16.
15 or 16. We're just getting old. Trucks don't last like they used to. So we'll have those 2 trucks. That white one, hopefully it'll do good as a backup unit. Now the red one, I don't trust. I wouldn't let them drive that to Stonewall. So we're making it better. We'll be way ahead of the game now. That's all I got.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank y'all.
Council members, do you have any questions pertaining to the government capital of the vehicle that I can answer for y'all? Awesome. Up next, we'll have Superintendent Hicks with the Alton Public Works Department.
Alright, this is gonna be real quick. Zippendale Place, we had a backup. It's about 20 hours worth of backup. We worked almost 24 hours around the clock with it, but it's about 20 hours. Debris from a builder threw their boards into the manhole, which backed everything up. So that's what you have in a lot of builders. They throw their boards equipment. Foster Lift Station, we lost a pump. We ordered another pump, put it in there. The wheels, wheel 8 replacement, it was a faulty chlorine regulator. And I know y'all like the ditches and all that clean. Highway 3227 was done, 157 around I-20, both sides were done. Joe Delaney Park, West McKinley, and West Jackson was done. And they're still on it today, so just whenever they get out there. That's really good.
It's looking good. We're getting compliments on it too.
Thanks, sir. Then we have, continuing on through reports, our NPC, and I think we have Ms. Annie Green presenting on that, as she is a board member for Mr. Horton.
God, that's right.
We only had one item to vote on last night, and that was the Covington Road commercial property. It's outside of the town's municipal limits. So we set that for a public hearing for May 11th. The only other thing that we have is we expect to get an application from the Collingwood development, and that will require a zoning change and a master plan. And we think we'll have that next month.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Green.
Thank you.
Final reports, we'll have Mr. Jeremy up here with Meyer & Meyer. He's got several projects going on in the town.
Getting ready for all the growth of that coming.
That's right.
All right, so the elevated tank and water well project, that is still moving forward good. The foundation's in. I don't know if anybody had a chance to ride by it, but you can see the slab with some valves going there, and they've started getting some of the steel ready to start putting up. So that was coming along really good. This evening you approved the recommendation to award the LCBG sewer rehab project. We'll schedule the pre-con here pretty soon, and then by next meeting should have a schedule and an idea of when they'll plan on getting started on that project. Sewer treatment plant, that sewer treatment plant project that we're doing some rehab on the older system to get it back up. They started on that. I believe they tried to start this week and had some issues, but they ultimately are starting next week with the well pumps. They'll get that one moving pretty quick. Fox Skin Bayou, next Monday we have a landowner meeting to go over the right of way needed for the project and hopefully get some signatures and get that one moving forward. And then Legacy Point Unit 3, all of the items provided in the engineer's recommendation conditions have been met as of, I think, yesterday or today. So everything has been recorded. Mainly the only thing that was just right of way servitudes for the easements for the sewer.
As far as opening up the 3227, do we have a time frame on that?
3227 water well and
Yeah, but to open up the highway and everything, we have.
That's-
So water well was holding.
That's a misunderstanding. So Jeremy doesn't have any involvement in the 3227 reroute. That is that's solely a state project. unfortunately, that's where some of this frustration I know personally comes from Tyler and myself and Mr. Cox and probably anybody else that lives around it. That's solely a state project that's going on there. So a lot of times communication is difficult for us to get because you have so many hands in the pot on something that big. Now, our latest update that we had, me and Tyler both each got 2 independent people because that's kind of what it takes to figure out what's going on. I know they had some issue with the asphalting mill or itself that set them back, and I believe the biggest deal was not being able to proceed until the road adjacent to the pilot was to a substantial point of completion. That was, for whatever reason, that held them up on the work that you were seeing on the opposite side of the road. So the biggest hangup on that was actually finishing that road to where light signaling could be moved over to give access into the south side of the pilot. It's unfortunate that slowed it down because in my lay mind, I'm like, well, you can multitask this a little bit, and it did, and that's what we got. I believe we got mid-May was the original estimate, or it was not the original, it was the most recent estimate. I believe the original estimate was early March, if I'm not mistaken, right, Tyler?
Yes, sir.
So, it's not that we're very thankful to see all this going on, but just on my end and Mr. Gillis' end, in most of these things, we could call somebody like Jeremy, or we could call these people and get very quick resolutions and answers to. It's a little bit different whenever we don't have a single hand in that state project. But that is the most recent update we have. It's about time for us to follow up again and make sure there hasn't been any changes. I know the latest from DOT themselves was also a confirmation of a mid-May completion as well. So it sounds like no more hiccups there.
I didn't know if the tank was holding it up, that's what I was concerned about. That's why I had
Yeah, the town has not, nor is, although the water tower is in extreme proximity to it, it has not
A little bit
affected,
of coordination between those two.
Right.
Other than that.
has not been a pinch point on this. Any other questions?
Questions from me?
Appreciate you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes our reports. We'll be in the announcements section of our agenda. Madam Clerk, do you have any announcements you'd like to make, ma'am?
No, Mayor.
Mr. Irwin, any announcements you'd like to make, sir?
No, thank you.
Fellow council members, any announcements that y'all would like to make? If there's no objection, I will adjourn the meeting. See no objection, meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.